Hey premenopausal ladies in your 30s, 40s, early 50s, are you tired of feeling tired, stressed, and out of balance? Well, it's time to simplify your health and start feeling good. I use my signature program, Simply Feeling Good Period, and my training, 5-day training, called Break the Cycle to Hormonal Health to help you get there. And if you want to know more, it's a 5-day training. It's a free training right now, so I would jump on it. The links and everything will be in the show notes. And really, it's simple. My approach is based on the Simply with an E method, which I created that has helped me and other women. And it covers everything you need to know to support your hormonal health and overall well-being. So sleep, stress, spirituality, intuition. We need to trust our gut and listen to our body. We need to learn how to listen to our body and what it's telling us. Mindset and minerals, our thoughts, based on scientific facts, do play a huge role in our overall health and even at a cellular level. So our thoughts and nutrition and how they play a role in hormonal health. Physical exercise. So exercise does not have to be a chore, ladies. Find a type of movement that you enjoy can make all the difference, and you do not need to spend hours and hours and hours at the gym taking you away from your family and your husband time. So livelihood, your work and career can make a huge impact on your overall being. We'll talk about that. Environmental toxins, your menstrual cycles and hormones. And if you're ready to start feeling good and to break the cycle to hormonal health, let's chat. Message me or in the description, click the link, read what the Break the Cycle to Hormonal Health training is about, sign up. It is free for now. And we can chat more. Hey, welcome to the Happy Hormones Coach, the podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Gamayo Self, where I dive into everything related to women's health and lifestyle and, you know me, holistically. So join me, your host, as we explore the intricacies of female hormones, discuss tips and strategies for managing stress and anxiety, and discover ways to live a healthier and happier, more fulfilling life. From nutrition to fitness, mindfulness to relationships, I cover it all. So please grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's dive into the world of women's health together. This is the Happy Hormones Coach. Well, hello, and welcome back to the Happy Hormones Coach podcast. This is season 3, and it's been a wild ride of lots of ups and downs and medical emergencies and everything in between. So I'm so glad to be back with you and hope to continue this on a weekly basis and bring you more episodes with exciting guest speakers. So to start off with season 3, I've been working with women through holistic health and especially the perimenopause phase, the middle age phase, women 30s through 50s. And so I thought this would be fitting to do an brief introduction to holistic health and navigating perimenopause with grace. So let's get into it. I'm your host, Jennifer Gamayo Self, and today we're embarking on a journey to understand this perimenopausal phase with a holistic lens. So whether you're in your mid-30s or early 50s, or just simply interested in holistic health, this episode is crafted with care just for you. So let's get into it. So perimenopause, it marks a significant transitional period in a woman's life, and it is characterized not only by hormonal fluctuations, but also as a signal from our bodies, urging us to pay meticulous attention to our holistic well-being. We really got to pay attention and tune in and listen to our bodies. That is one of the most not talked about, simplest thing that people think is listening to your bodies, but actually it's a little bit more complex than that. And so in this segment, I'm delving into, kind of understanding what these bodily signals are, aiming to arm you with the knowledge and grace needed to embrace this phase positively. There's a lot of mixed emotions with the different phases of our womanhood, from being a girl to a woman, and a lot of hormonal changes, a lot of mineral changes, a lot of things in between. And so we really have to understand that it's not all a bad thing. This is just a part of life. This is a part of aging. This is one phase of the age that we're in, and it could be lovely and graceful. It doesn't have to be horrible and everything that you see sometimes on social media or TV, anything portraying that, right? It can actually be very pleasant. And so at the heart of holistic health, that really lies the philosophy that our body operates as an interconnected system. All of our bodily, everything in our bodies, our organs, our cells, every function in our body is a system and it's interconnected. So if one thing is out of balance, it doesn't mean that one thing is out of balance. It means a whole host of things could be out of balance because it's all connected. And it goes, it just goes beyond the basics of, diet and exercise, stress management, sleep quality, and emotional health. I definitely like to explore more on how integrating holistic practices into our daily lives can make a huge difference and influence our journey through this phase, perimenopause, and enhancing our quality of life. It's a transition and it often comes with its unique set of challenges and changes. Does not have to be bad, but there are challenges. There are changes for sure. It's not the same. And it's not about hormonal shifts either. It's about the body signaling us to pay closer attention to our overall well-being. And so today I'll hope to shed some light on understanding some of these signals and embracing this phase with grace and knowledge. I could spend so many episodes on this, and I will, since this is more of like who I work with, but I just want to break this episode down briefly. And so holistic health often sounds like just a wonderful idea, doesn't it? When you hear holistic, it's just I picture like green tones, nature, everything like in my brand colors is what I picture it. Just like plants and just being out in nature and just lovely. But let's really break it down. So imagine your health as a symphony with each instrument playing a vital role. Your diet, sleep, stress levels, physical activity, they're all musicians in this orchestra. If one is out of tune, it affects the harmony of the whole. In the context of perimenopause, this symphony becomes even more detailed or intricate. And the holistic approach isn't just about fixing one symptom, because we all know you can't. It's about understanding how all parts of your life contribute to your overall well-being. And it's about creating a lifestyle where you're not just surviving, but you're actually thriving, even amid the hormonal shifts. And yes, it is possible, and yes, you can. So by focusing on nourishing food, whole foods, restorative sleep, excellent sleep quality, stress management is a huge, huge one. And it seems so simple, but this one is really actually hard. It could be complicated for some people, I should say. And joyful movement. We can even bring our body symphony back into harmony, making the perimenopausal journey one of transformation and growth. And so just imagine with me. Imagine waking up one day feeling like your body has suddenly decided to speak a language you've never ever heard before. Maybe it's the unexpected mood swings where you find yourself tearing up over a commercial, or those heat waves that hit you out of nowhere, leaving you wondering if it's summer already, even in the middle of a cold winter. Welcome to the world of perimenopause, a phase that many of us step into without even realizing, yes, ladies, this is me also. It's like walking through a maze where each turn brings a new surprise, and it does not have to be a bad surprise, remember that. But here's the thing. It's not just a series of symptoms to manage. It's a signal from our body, inviting us to pay closer attention and embrace self-care on a deeper level. Together, we'll explore this maze not with apprehension, but with grace and wisdom to understand and support our bodies through this natural but perplexing phase of life. So we really, we hear the term self-care, and I'm a huge proponent. We definitely need self-care. But here's the thing. When we're having our shifts and phases of life, going through the different phases of our life, different hormonal shifts, there's different changes, we really need to hone in on self-care. And that will really include the stress and sleep. And that's just a huge part of it. That's why in my signature Simply method, the first S stands for stress and sleep, because that's one of the basic foundations of our transitions. That's very important, not just to our hormones, but to our minerals, which are the spark plugs of our life. And, at a cellular level, it just helps everything and it keeps things in balance. And we need that. So self-care is really important. So now I am going to talk about the first S in my Simply method, stress and sleep. Well, they do contribute, by being our body's allies. Like I said, we need it, especially as we progress in age and as we enter different phases of life. So, those nights when we're tossing and turning, replaying the day's events, or worrying about tomorrow's to-do list. Oh, that does happen. That happens especially to the busy professional women that I work with, and occasionally to me as well. And that's your body signaling it's overloaded. And it's a common tale for many of us navigating perimenopause. Elevated stress levels not only make it hard to catch up on those Z's, but can also amplify our symptoms. And it feels like a double-edged sword, doesn't it? Here's what you can do. So let's just start small. I always like to start small. You don't want to do too much at a time because it can just overwhelm you and feel like defeat. So start small by dedicating just like 10 minutes daily to unwind and clear our minds through meditation, mindfulness practices, prayer, whichever you prefer. Just something just to unwind and just relax, just like reset our nervous system. And picture this as your tranquil bubble, away from the day's chaos. And when it comes to sleep, let's craft a nighttime ritual that's all about relaxation. Think of a warm bath, some gentle, soothing music, or a book. Just get away from any electronics in the room. And I've talked about this before, but your bedroom should be for sleep and sex. And we really shouldn't have electronics in there, especially our phones nearby, Wi-Fi on, TV, anything like that could be distracting, and any of the blue light for our eyes. So relaxing with the book, and it just, it helps take you to another world. And anything that helps unwind without electronics is gonna be good for your body just before going to sleep. And these moments of peace can help guide your body into a restful night's sleep, balancing those hormones and giving you the energy to embrace the day ahead. So what about nourishing movement, or nourishment and movement? So let's move on to that. Have you ever noticed how a heavy, greasy meal makes you feel sluggish, while a vibrant, nutrient-rich eating the rainbow dish can boost your mood and energy? That's your body reacting to the fuel you give it. And especially during this phase of perimenopause, this reaction is even more pronounced. Our bodies start to communicate. Sometimes they yell, sometimes loudly, what they need to thrive. It's like they're asking for a mix of, like I said, eat the rainbow, colorful veggies, proteins, whole grains to help balance out the hormonal roller coaster that, let's face it, every day is different, that we're always on. So let's listen, introduce more of these wholesome foods into our meals. And when it comes to moving our bodies, well, I know the thought of hitting the gym can sometimes feel like a chore. And I always say, you do not have to spend money on a gym membership to be in shape. You can do it simply at home with what you have. But what if we view exercise as a celebration for what our bodies can do rather than a punishment? So whatever you like to do, however you like to move your body, whether it's dance class, dancing at home while cleaning, that's the same. Anything that makes you feel alive, a brisk walk in nature that calms your mind, Pilates, anything like that, any joy that you find in movement, just start moving your body a day. Whatever it is that brings you joy that you like to do for the body, movement is good. And it's about creating that harmony within while managing stress. So throw on some music that you enjoy, or a great podcast episode, or an audible book while you're walking, or even moving your body, whatever works for you. And yes, making those perimenopausal symptoms a bit more manageable. That's what it will do. So let's commit to finding that activity that sparks joy in us. Bring your partner in on it, or your kids if you have any, and just make it a family thing, or yourself when you have time as a self-care. Just make it a regular part of your life, not as a task, but as a gift to your body. So let's turn this conversation to listening to our bodies. This is one that is widely overlooked, but has such an impact on our overall well-being, especially during any hormonal changes. Have you ever stopped to consider that those cravings, that fatigue, or even that unexpected burst of energy are your body's way of communicating with you? It's like having a built-in guide, nudging you to notice and adjust. Well, in the midst of perimenopause, this conversation becomes louder and more critical. And yes, our body speaks to us. And so perhaps it's your body asking for more water, less sugar, more rest, more movement, whatever it might be. It might be urging you to slow down when you're pushing too hard, or to move more when you've been too sedentary. So let's make it a daily practice to pause and really listen to our bodies before we start noticing any horrible symptoms, because those are red flags. Normally, we notice it last through our skin, really through our skin or any hormonal changes, mood swings, anything like that. But our body does give us symptoms. It does give us flags and does talk to us. But a lot of times when it screams, when it's at its end, when it's trying to get our attention, is when we notice all these terrible symptoms and maybe even diseases, anything like that. And we don't want to get to that point, ladies. We really want to slow down and practice really pausing and just trying to listen to what our body's telling us, whether that's after we eat something, see how we feel, after we move a certain way, see how we feel. Just kind of notice a pattern in our bodies, and that'll really help us to explore and learn being more in tune with our bodies and really listen to it and give it what it needs. You can even start a journal, jot down how you feel after meals, activities, or even social interactions. This isn't just about tracking symptoms, and I don't want you to be obsessive about it either. You could just do it for a couple days, 1 week, and just notice a pattern. It's really about you connecting to your body and really learning the language of your body. And by tuning in, we can make choices that truly resonate with our needs, turning our daily routines into acts of self-love and respect, giving our body the fuel it needs. And so now let's navigate a clearer path by chatting about some environmental toxins. I know I've done a podcast episode, I think in season 1 about this, and I can go on and on because there's a vast range of toxins everywhere. It would be several seasons long. Too much to break it down, so I'm just going to break it down simply and briefly. But in a world, we are surrounded by chemicals, from the air we breathe to the products we use, and it can feel so overwhelming to think about their impact on our hormonal health and on our overall health, actually. And it's like we're walking through a fog, trying to discern the best path forward. But here's a thought. What if we could clear some of that fog, making more conscious choices about our environment? So just start simple. Maybe it's swapping out a conventional cleaning product for a vinegar-based solution, or choosing a skincare product with ingredients you can actually pronounce and know what they are. The less ingredients, the better. And just remember, when you're reading food labels, or any labels actually, the first 3 that are shown on there is what it has the most of. And then once you start going down the list, it has less and less of that. So you really want to make sure that the ingredients you can pronounce, you know what they are, and what are the first couple ingredients. And just think of each small change as a step towards reducing the hormonal chaos and mineral chaos that environmental toxins can contribute to. So many things, like I said, to get into. But remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about making informed decisions that will help clear the air, literally and figuratively, for our hormonal health to thrive. And we all need a support system. And that is why I have added this in briefly. So navigating this phase, any phase of womanhood, any hormonal changes, anything that we're going through, we have to navigate it with grace. It's not just a solo journey. Ladies, we're all in this together. We may not have the same experiences in life. We may not have the same symptoms, but we have the same hormones that we're navigating through. And having a support system can make a huge difference, whether it's friends, families, or a community of women going through similar experiences. Sharing and learning from each other can be so incredibly empowering. For one, you're empowering others through your knowledge or your experience that somebody may not want to ask, somebody may feel alone in, or somebody may be sharing their story that you are embarrassed to ask or you feel alone in. And so here's a brief action step that you can take as well. Reach out to someone who understands or is open to learning about this phase of life, or consider joining or starting a support group. I actually have a group on Mighty Networks. It's a private group for women. There's many different spaces in there, and it's called Thrive Tribe, Life Elevated. So if you want to join, go ahead and look that up if you're a part of the Mighty Networks. If you have other groups that you belong into there, but that would be a good one too. I've just started that, so you can join there and bring your expertise and bring your experience. It's this private group for women, and hopefully we can share with one another. So remember, navigating perimenopause with grace is all about embracing this natural transition with kindness toward yourself and towards others. It's about making small, sustainable changes that honor your body and your mind. Thank you so much for joining me in today's episode. I hope you feel inspired to take steps towards holistic health and navigate perimenopause with confidence and grace, and help others. Remember to reach out and share with others or ask for help as well. And until next time, stay wonderful and keep listening to your body. Thanks for tuning in to the Happy Hormones Coach today. I hope our discussion was informative and helpful for your health and well-being. If you have any questions or comments about today's episode or have suggestions for future topics, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can find me on social media or visit my website. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a review and sharing it with your friends and family. Remember, taking care of yourself is essential, and I'm here to support you on your journey toward optimal health and happiness. So until next time, stay happy and stay healthy. This is the Happy Hormones Coach.